Okay, in this video I'm going to demonstrate what it looks like to actually launch the car from a stop. And so you'll start off with the engine running, of course, and the gear shifter, you know, typically in neutral when you get in the car, and we're ready to launch. So what you'll do is you'll go ahead and push the clutch pedal all the way to the floor, and you'll put that gear lever in first gear, which in this car is up and to the left. And then watch my feet first, and then I'll show you kind of the engine speed. You might be able to kind of hear this. But what you'll do is gently put on some gas, and I'll stop blabbing while I do it. Gently put on a little gas and slowly let the clutch out and let the car kind of catch up with the engine. You shouldn't hear a lot of revving. So this is what it looks like. Let me do that again. Now I'm stopping the car. Like so. And when you're all the way out and the car is sped up, that's when you go ahead and let the get your foot off of that clutch pedal. I'll do this in reverse now, just have a little more room. Do it again. Now, one really good way that you can practice this is to kind of get practiced up, to get a feel for how the clutch is on the first times. Don't try to actually get the car rolling and driving. Instead, get a feel for what they call the friction zone of where the clutch is starting to engage but isn't fully engaged. And that's really the first practice you want to do before you actually do a full start where you let the clutch all the way out and you're actually going. So this is what it looks like to practice the friction zone. What you can do is, again, go ahead and push the clutch in, put the car in forward, and with it in forward, obviously you'll do this on a flat surface so you don't roll away. I'm in a grocery store parking lot right now. What you can do is practice revving the engine a little bit and letting the clutch out just enough that you feel the car start rolling. And as soon as it rolls, you push the clutch pedal back in. And do that again. There, it rolled a little. In fact, I'll stop it. There, it rolled a little. That's good. Do this several times to get a sense of how you can get the car engaging without stalling the engine or spinning the wheels or something else. And as you do that, as you practice the friction zone, eventually it'll become natural enough to you that you can go ahead and just let it all the way out and the car will start going, just like that. Okay? Now what I want to show you now is what it looks like from the dashboard side so you can kind of get a sense of how much the engine revs do and don't come up. In general, you don't kind of race the engine. I'm backing the car up here so I can reset. That's why you hear it moving. You don't want to race the engine. You don't want to hear a ton of clutch slippage. I'll demonstrate a bad launch, and then I'll show you what a good launch looks like. So looking at the dashboard, again, I'll stop blabbing so you can hear the engine. This is a normal, good, gentle launch on a car, like this. Just like that. See how it didn't race? The engine didn't rev all that high, and you didn't hear it slipping for a long period of time. I'll do it in reverse. That's a nice natural launch of the car, okay? Now, what would a bad launch sound like? And I'm not going to do a burnout here because I don't want the cops to get me. But you don't want excessive clutch slipping. This is what that looks like. Right, that kind of thing is going to heat up the clutch and wear it out too much. So you don't need that much revs, right? Here, I'll do another bad clutch slip one. You do that if you're like drag racing or something like that. So one more time, normal, nice launch like this. See that? Just gentle revs on. And of course, if you let the pedal out too quickly, what you're going to see is a stall. I don't need to demonstrate that, but the engine will just quit. Don't panic. It's not going to destroy it. I mean, you don't want to stall every launch. It's going to happen while you're learning. But that's what happens if the pedal goes out too fast. All right? So that is how you start the car going from a dead stop. And the next video, what we're going to show you is what it looks like to go ahead and shift up gears.